We can't even move them into our barn because our barn is like crumbling. The doors blown off of it. I'm talking big, massive metal hinges just ripped off like they were nothing. The roof is just caving into it now. You know what I mean? You're looking at all these things and I'm like, oh wow, I can't even put them in the barn. I can't even just, we let them stay outside because they have a thick grove of trees that they like to, the sheep usually prefer to go into the grove of trees versus going into the barn. So we said, okay, we'll let them go in there. If the storm gets too bad, we can move them to the barn. Well, the storm is now super bad. We cannot move them to the barn because the barn is literally, we have to go through the barn to get into the sheep pen, and stuff is falling on our heads as we try to get into it. It's crumbling, that's not going to work. We're standing right outside of the electric fence of the sheep pen, looking at it and going, okay, what is the best option for them? I'm not wanting to stress them out. If they are, God gave them an innate understanding of things. And if they feel most comfortable tucked in a grove of trees, that's where they feel protected and comfortable, that's where we'll leave them. I don't want to cause them more stress throughout this. As we're standing there discussing this, we hear a crack. And literally from the roots, a massive tree in the middle of their pen. And I'm not talking, again, old dying tree. I'm talking massive, huge, healthy tree. Massive root span just falls. I've never ran so fast in my life to try to get down into the sheep pen. It literally fell where my sheep Ruth had just been standing. I mean, a moment before. Thank the Lord for his protection and provision. The sheep ran as it came and they got to a safe space. But this massive tree comes down. It nearly hits our sheep. It lands on our sheep fencing, right? You're just all of these things. We look up, there's more trees kind of teetering up there. There's trees all around us. You can hear them cracking and falling. We have to now gather scared sheep up. We're just grabbing what we can. Luckily, we had a bucket of some treats in the barn that hadn't gotten destroyed yet. So the kids are helping, to kind of like, here, come on. We herd up our sheep and our livestock guardian dog. We're tucking them up here in next to us by the house. It just was that like string of events that just kept going. But again, you have no communication with anyone. So you're going, wow, like, is it this bad anywhere else? I have no idea. Let's make the most of it. Let's be as encouraging as we can. I don't want the kids to be scared. It's all going to be okay. And so as the storm finally starts to come down a little bit, we come out, we all pitch in, we start clearing trees off of our driveway so that someone can get out. My brother's truck is the only one that's going to be able to, but even though it looks like most of our driveway is now literally gone, like gone. We get the trees cleared off of the driveway. We get enough of the tree cleared off the sheep fence that it can be mended. Sheep can get back into that, right? They need a safe space that they can be. We're doing all of that. And as the day goes on and we realize, wow, power is really not coming back on. My brother and I go, okay, we're getting a little bit of signal. We're seeing people talking about this sounds like this is really bad everywhere. Let's try to run out and grab, a couple supplies, a couple things that we can use here while all of this is looking like it might be out for a minute longer. My brother and I leave in his truck. Everybody was going to stay here and just kind of keep things, kind of together, pull out the camping stove, do stuff like that. Everywhere we go, it is just insane. Trees down everywhere, power lines everywhere, live lines just flopping around in water. Lines, we go down one of our main roads of town, and all the trees on the hill are literally just hanging down on the row of power lines all down this main road. Whole areas, I mean, everywhere we go, you just have roads cut off because the whole area, I'm talking like up to big industrial buildings, up to like their signs up above where you walk in. There's aerial footage that came out the next day of our shopping centers and things, and it's like a lake with just a couple roofs dotting it. Some water had started to recede a little bit. The silt and mud that's left is so thick, You can't get through it. We headed down the road a little further. The next town is about 20 minutes down the road. We got there because somebody had said there was a gas station open. So we said, okay, well, we'll go there and try to find, something. We found a Food Lion that was open and found something again. There, the devastation. I mean, we went to try to go to our Ingles grocery store that I go to, we frequent so often down the road from the Aldi that we love. And my brother could have floated on a raft in the intersection and touched the light pole, the lights hanging at the thing. It was so much water. We saw the high school football field and the water's up to the goalpost. It's everywhere you look. There's trees through homes. There's trees across everything. There's power poles just snapped and laying down. There's, areas where we would drive on the interstate that are normally just fields. It looked like we were driving alongside of a lake. It just was the most surreal thing ever. And nobody has power. Nobody has connection. We're all just kind of like, what is going on? So trying to get home, we realize all of a sudden we just start seeing emergency vehicle after emergency vehicle just going by us. And we get cut off like 2 exits away from our house and are told we have to get off. You can't go any further. The interstate has been closed. I-40, which we live right off of, has been closed. And we're like, what happened up there? What kind of accident happened that, they've closed it? And so it was really just such a surreal thing that, we get home and we're like, all right, guys, I'm sure the power will be up tomorrow. Everything will be okay. We're checking the Duke Energy app and it's got no updates on anything, but it'll be okay. This will all get done together. Let's just get some rest. We'll wake up in the morning and kind of reassess. So everybody gets some rest to the best of their ability. And I know you feel, whatever, you feel, I know that it could be so much worse, but it was one of those things. As many of you have probably heard by now all about the destruction that Hurricane Helene has brought to our home here in Western North Carolina. There's been destruction throughout Georgia, up into South Carolina, devastated all of Western North Carolina, and even up into Tennessee and parts of Virginia. This storm was catastrophic to our area. Towns around us that we've loved don't exist anymore. Our own property took a lot of damage, and there is so much to be done to help these sleepy little mountain towns even begin to recover from something that was so unbelievably unexpected. Well, we have shared about what has happened to our family. We've also shared about the efforts that we have been gathering to try to help those that need it the most. And if you are looking for any way that you can help real people affected by these storms, especially in a time where not only was it so dangerous, so damaging, but we've also had the smallest response from any sort of government organization out there. The only real help that is actually happening here in the area has come from the community, has come from the citizens here, has come from our churches and local groups. And I think that is something that is so beautiful when we have an opportunity to truly live out our faith, to be the church and to pour into those who need it most. And so again, if you're looking for any way that you can help support those affected by Hurricane Helene, we have many different resources linked down in the description. We're raising funds, we are gathering resources, and if you are someone here locally in need, you can also fill out a form so that way we can start directing these supplies we're receiving to you and all the families that need so much after this devastation has come through and wiped out so many homes, so many towns, and so many lives. Thank you all. We appreciate your prayers, your love, and support. Again, check out all of those donation options down below. Please share with businesses, with churches, with groups and communities. This cleanup process, this recovery process is going to be a very long road ahead. And so keep sharing, keep spreading the word. And thank you so much for all the prayer and love and encouragement as our family and our community here of Heavenly Minded Home does all that we can to invest in others.